Nutritional Needs of Children aged 1 to 6. 1 to 6 years are the years when growth and development continues rapidly. During the Playboy period, also called the preschool period, which covers the years between the ages of 3 to 6, there is an average of 2 to 3 kilo of weight and 6 to 8 centimeter of height increase per year. The structure and developmental speed of each child is different. Accordingly, the nutrients and energy items they need to take and the amount of nutrients they need to consume also differ. The healthy and regular functioning of the child's body, the preservation of body temperature, and the coordination of movements are only possible by taking the necessary amount of energy. This is achieved by consuming the necessary nutrients. Children's energy needs are dependent on age, physical characteristics, environmental temperature, illness, etc. Circumstances may change. Whether the child's energy, that is, nutritional value, is sufficient, it is understood by monitoring his growth and development. If the food taken does not meet the necessary energy needs, the development will not be at the desired level. Weakness and fatigue are seen in the child. If more energy is taken than needed, the child becomes obese. Therefore, there must be a balance between the energy taken and the energy spent. Due to rapid growth and development, the need for many nutrients increases during the Playboy period, where energy is spent the most. Children in this age group need foods containing protein, vitamins, minerals, and calcium. If the consumption of foods belonging to the 4 food groups consisting of fresh vegetables, fruits, meat, fish, oils and cereals, legumes, milk and derivatives is balanced, the nutritional needs of children will be easily met. Protein is necessary for many vital functions such as the body oxygen transport, fighting microbes, and the growth and development of tissues. Since this will be met with foods with high protein values such as meat, milk and eggs should be consumed in the daily diet. Vitamins are among the other nutrients needed during this period. Vitamins play an important role in factors such as the development and strengthening of the immune system and bones and protection of the body against diseases. Diseases and diseases that may occur in the body differ according to each vitamin deficiency. Important minerals such as calcium and iron should be taken adequately during this period. The best sources of calcium are foods such as milk, yogurt, cheese, nuts, peanuts, and green leafy vegetables. Molasses, dried fruits and legumes, nuts, meat, and green leafy vegetables are also iron-rich foods. As a result of insufficient intake of iron, anemia due to iron deficiency, and as a result of insufficient intake of calcium, problems such as growth retardation and rickets bone curvature are observed in children. Nutritional characteristics of the Playboy. During the play age, children's personality is shaped and children gain habits that will affect their behavior throughout their lives. The nutritional habits that the child gains during this period affect the next periods of his life. It is also the determinant of health problems such as obesity, excessive obesity, and cardiovascular diseases that may occur in the future. Health problems such as malnutrition, vitamin deficiency, vitamin and iodine deficiencies, anemia, and dental caries frequently occur in preschool children in the world and in our country as a result of inadequate and unbalanced nutrition. Especially in children between the ages of 3 to 6, foods that are low in quantity but high in nutritional value are needed for the development of bones and teeth, the development of the muscle, brain and nervous system, and the growth and development of organs. In this period, children begin to control their body functions, communicate with others, and lay the foundations of social behaviors and habits depending on their developmental speed. In the preschool period, the child starts to leave the house and enter social environments such as kindergarten and nursery. During this period, as well as the development of the child's feelings of friendship, cooperation and sharing, his lifestyle and accordingly his eating habits also change and take shape. Schools are the second natural environments that come after the family for gaining eating habits and nutrition education. Play-age children may greedily eat any food they do not eat at home by displaying a different attitude at school, in a group, and with their friends. Therefore, it is important for schools to monitor their nutritional status and to train school administrators and teachers on nutrition. Nutrition affects not only the growth of the child, but also the social emotional development and behavior of the child. It is important for the child to perceive that eating is also a social event. Therefore, family members should sit together at the table. While this sets a good model for the child, it also creates a feeling of a happy environment in which family members come together. Properly selected nutrients, when given in a supportive family environment, make positive contributions to the development of the child. Feeding problems in the playboy. With the beginning of the preschool period, children who start to make decisions about nutrition alone do not know what kind of nutrients they need and how much. Nutritional problems occur as a result of children's irregular food intake or wrong food choices. The issues that families frequently complain about, especially while gaining nutritional habits in children aged 3 to 6, loss of appetite, weakness or overeating, obesity, choosing food and not wanting to try different flavors. Anorexia is the behavior of refusing to eat in situations such as jealousy arising from the birth of a new sibling, unrest in the family, adults forcing children, the onset of illness or distress. In these cases, the child should not be forced, too much food should not be placed on his plate, and the foods that he reacts should be tried to be given by preparing different presentations. Since the child may show vomiting behavior when excessive pressure is exerted or insisted on eating, it should be treated sensitively. The problem of overeating and related obesity may also be caused by the lack of knowledge of families about the amount of food their children take and the amount of energy they need to spend. In addition, the family's choice of carbohydrate-based diet and nutritional habits depending on the cultural structure may cause obesity in children. If the child is very active, the family forces him to eat constantly and persistently. If the child has psychological problems, this may cause loss of appetite in the child as well as push him to overeat. Food choking, one of the nutritional problems, usually occurs between 1 to 3 years of age. Foods such as nuts, peanuts, popcorns, grapes or cracker grains enter the respiratory tract of children and cause suffocation. In such cases, if there is no complete obstruction in the respiratory tract, the child should be able to cough up the food. If the food is visible in the mouth, the adult should insert a finger into the child's mouth and remove it. Attitudes and behaviors required to gain the child's nutrition habit. The foundation of healthy eating habits is laid during childhood. Parents' awareness about nutrition has an impact on the child's lifelong nutritional behavior. The 2-3 year period is the age when children learn to follow the rules. Rules should usually be set by parents and be consistent in their implementation. Meal times, sitting together at the table, rules such as not choosing food should be explained in a language suitable for the child. It is very easy for children to follow the rules in families who take care of their children and answer the questions asked by children in accordance with their age and developmental characteristics. From the age of 4 onwards, children's perceptions, motor functions that require chewing and swallowing are better developed. The child who learns to use cutlery in this period cannot cut hard foods such as pieces of meat without help and needs adult help. For this reason, meals should generally be prepared and presented in small pieces that children can easily chew. The child should be expected to eat the food on his own, spilling it on or around him while eating should be considered normal and patience should be treated. Children's eating habits are directly or indirectly affected by the eating habits of the family, especially the parents. The child who will consume the food offered by the family will not eat a food that his family does not like and does not want to consume. Care should be taken in this regard, as the child will imitate the eating habits of the family or the caregiver. Television and social media advertisements are also effective in the food choice of children in this period. During the meal, the child should be seated at the table and it should be ensured to focus on the meal without watching anything from the communication tools. If the whole family cannot sit at the table, at least one of the parents should accompany and observe the child at the table during the meal. Preschool children do not like to consume mixed foods. Therefore, it is necessary to present each food with its unique taste and appearance. When the child sees the familiar food in a way that he can eat it with his hands, he likes that food more. During this period, children may not eat every food with appetite as they are picky. However, as he sees the foods he should consume on the table, he gets used to it over time and tries to waste it. The types of food that children like may also differ from time to time. For example, a child who likes to eat eggs may refuse to eat eggs for a long time. This situation should be met with understanding and patience. One should not insist on eating, and one should not be punished. Children who are trying to get used to different tastes should not be offered foods that are extremely cold or hot, bitter or heavily spiced. In addition, the way of presenting the food to be given to the child is also an important issue. Putting a food that the child will waste for the first time in front of it in the form of cute presentations makes that food attractive. The child is accustomed to eating with additional foods of different consistency and taste prepared during infancy. In the game period, the child now prefers to eat the foods he likes. Food selection behavior develops during this period. In such cases, the family should be a model for the child and explain in simple sentences that the child should get enough from all nutrients. In cases where the child has to eat the food he does not like, do you want the spinach with eggs or in the form of a pie? It should be ensured that he or she decides how to eat the food he or she should eat by asking his or her request. During the game period, the diet should be in the form of 3 meals and frequent snacks. However, if the child's growth and development is normal and the child eats as much as he or she needs, skipping meals should not be a problem. Children prefer to drink milk or consume sugary foods instead of eating several kinds of foods. Therefore, there can be large differences between daily nutrient and calorie intakes. Since the behavior of consuming so-called junk food such as biscuits, crackers and chocolate will turn into a habit at this age, it is necessary not to give such ready-made foods. Instead of these, it should be preferred to give fruit cookies and cakes or dried fruits prepared at home. In between meals, foods such as milk, buttermilk, fruit or cheese bread should be chosen to compensate for the nutrients that the child should take during the day but cannot take. The child should be told by the mother or the caregiver that how much of which food he should consume and that the foods he is prejudiced against, cabbage, celery, chickpeas, etc., should also be tasted. The portion should be small. The necessary information should be explained in simple language about how to take it again and finish the food on the plate. It is also important not to force the child to eat more and not to negotiate the food.